Hi, everyone. I hope you've all had a great weekend, and I apologize for not being in class on Monday. I just wanted to give you a basically a primer lecture on what we're going to talk about on Wednesday, which will also probably bleed into stuff we're talking about on Monday and probably honestly into next week or into next Wednesday as well. What we're going to cover for the next 2 days or so is how we go about prosecuting terrorists through the criminal justice system. So last week we talked about how do we actually prevent either people from being radicalized and becoming terrorists, or how do we prevent terror attacks. What I want to talk about now is how we can actually go about prosecuting terrorists and handling them through the criminal justice system. So basically, what it boils down to, prevention has failed, and now either someone has crossed the line into promoting terrorist activity or actively supporting terror groups, either domestically or internationally, or a terror event has happened or has been prevented, and now we need to hold people accountable. So what that boils down to is, what does the law say about terrorism? And from a federal standpoint, we've talked about this definition before. The trick, or the most difficult part of prosecuting someone under terrorism law, is proving that they are meeting all of the different elements of the crime of terrorism, which is why you don't really see a lot of people being prosecuted for terrorism. You see people being prosecuted for other crimes like using a weapon of mass destruction, murder, conspiracy, all things that are a lot easier, honestly, to prove in a criminal court. Additionally, because of how our national security systems are set up, being ran through organizations like the National Security Agency, the Central Intelligence Agency, the FBI, as well as the military and all of its associated military intelligence outfits, and additionally, international cooperation. We're dealing with a lot of things that maybe governments or specific agencies may not want released out into a public trial, which is why you may have heard about how the NSA or the CIA or the FBI was unwilling to disclose methods. And that is a key component in pretrial discovery and trials. You have to explain how evidence was collected. You have to explain who these people are, not provide a cover identity, but actually who they are, what their relationship is, what they brought to the table in terms of expertise or their place within the investigation, which is why people are very hesitant when they're being asked to participate in a criminal trial, because you're effectively outing someone as a spy, as a intelligence agent, or you're disclosing that, hey, we have this system that is capable of doing all of these intrusive, invasive, or just flat out not allowed within the criminal justice system, a lot of things that maybe we would not condone within a normal criminal context. So how do you work around that? Okay. And we are going to spend some time with what this actually means in terms of the criminal justice system as a whole. Like, does it have a place within preventing terrorism or prosecuting terrorism? And I know that sounds kind of weird, but like, is there a point in having a law against terrorism? if we cannot prosecute people under that law, because either we're going to be disclosing the fact that we had this group under surveillance for X number of years and we were able to break their encryption via NSA supercomputers, or the fact that we have dedicated FBI, CIA, and contractors and foreign intelligence services who are willing to infiltrate, investigate, and break up these terror plots. So when it comes down to it, what is the point of the prosecution of terrorism if it's not bringing cases against people in a court of law and have a jury decide someone's fate, basically the cornerstone of our criminal justice system? So I do want you to think about that as we prepare for meeting on Wednesday. Please take a look at the assigned readings from the Lafree text, as well as the additional textbook that I cannot remember the name of at the moment. I apologize. And I will see everyone on Wednesday.